morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you are doing well this morning. I have been very low level energy all week. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. I have done all of my strength body weight exercises that the program does this week. The one I'm going to do today is going to be really tough. There are 4 or 5 exercises, and again I'll have them on the screen for you guys to see what I'm doing, but it's going to be a tough one. I'm not sure I'm going to have the energy to do the cardio, extra cardio that goes on with it today or not, but we will see what energy I have. But right now I have very little, but I do want to at least get the body weight strength training component in for that. So yeah, it's kind of been a dreary week this week, very overcast, not very pretty. I don't know if that's what's affecting my level. I've been trying to do really well with the calorie intake and keeping it, I think, around 1900 to 1950 calorie intake each day. Some days I've gone a little over, some I've gone under. It's very kind of around in that area range anyway, so I'm doing better with tracking that. My weight's going up and down. I don't seem to be able to get it to go in the direction in a timely manner, but I'm hoping for some inches lost because I have done a lot of hard work on that end. So hopefully I'll get payoff with that. I'm going to concentrate on drinking more water today, flushing out any extra sodium that might have gotten into my diet this week. But yeah, I am struggling today. I would like to later on film videos, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not, but we'll see. So we will see if I get it done today or not, maybe tomorrow. Well, we'll see. I'm not sure. But let me go and get my workouts done. I will bring you along with me for that, and then I will check back in you afterwards. All right, you guys have a great morning.
3, 2, 1, go! It's time to take yourself to another level. You've got the power within. Just tap into it now.
So I just finished out the workout. It is called their chipper workout. These things are incredibly difficult to do. So I had 100 jumping jacks, which you saw that I did step out jacks. Then I had 75 air squats. Then I did 50 push-ups against the door because I don't have the strength yet to do them on the floor correctly. Those are still incredibly tough. If you're starting out and wanting modification, that's an awesome one because I feel it more when I do it against the door than when I was doing them on my belly or even on my knees because I don't have proper form because I can't hold all of my stomach weight correctly because there's just so much of it. So going up against the door, I'm getting better form. I feel it across my chest. I feel it in the back of my arms, my biceps. I feel it where I'm supposed to, whereas when I'm doing it on the floor, I'm not having good form. Therefore, I'm not feeling like I'm getting the most benefit out of it. But up against the door, oh my gosh, I feel it. And then I was supposed to do thrust or squat thrust, but I chose to do the mountain climbers as an alternative to it because I've just been burpeed out this week. So I did that alternative. If you saw me stop one of the times, my hip kept popping, so I had to stretch that part out a little bit. It's never done that before, but that's probably an age thing. So yeah, but I'm modifying and doing the best I can to get my joints and my body strengthening and doing better and getting it stronger. I'm just very, very extremely low level energy. So right now I'm not going to go on a 3-mile walk or do a video right now. I may later today, if I perk up and find more energy and my body revs up, then I can work on it then. But right now my body is saying no, and I don't want to over push it and get an injury and then be out of working for a week or two. So trying to listen to my body and also still trying to push it a little bit. Still trying to keep my calorie intake where it's supposed to be in order for, in theory, for it to start shedding weight. But again, I'm hoping for more inches lost and not gaining inches because I've worked really hard strengthening and sculpting and all of that. And I thought I did good with my calorie intake, but maybe not, I don't know. Like I said, my water weight has been going up and down. So yeah, being at home, I'm not nearly as active as when I'm at work on a traditional normal school week or school year. Because I'm up and I'm moving and I'm walking that building on top of exercising. When you're at home, you'll do your exercise, you'll do your workouts, and then what else do you do? So yeah, so it's kind of hard. You know, you do your workouts and you're kind of sedentary the rest of the day. You're not really going out and doing much of anything because everything is still pretty much on the lockdown. I know things are starting to slowly open up, but I don't want to go out and spend a ton of money either. So it's a catch-22. So again, I'm trying to, like I said, tighten up on my eating, calorie intake, trying to get enough of a deficit that my body's losing weight and not too much where it's holding on. All of that type of thing. So that's kind of where I'm at for the workout aspect. My goal-wise for my books, for my reading, I am prioritizing the Sanderson books, The Well of Ascension. It's so good. The more I read 2 or 3 chapters yesterday. I'm on chapter 16. I've got quite a bit to get through part 2. I'm going to see how much I can work on it today. And see where I get. We've got a new character. She's a terrace woman. It's a keeper of knowledge. I think her name is Twindle, or something to that effect. She was just brought in last night in one of my chapters. I talked to Eyal, so we're going to see what she does. Then encountered something in the mist that pretty much attacked her. It's not like the Khandra, but it's not a mist wraith. I'm not exactly sure what it is because it uses the mist. So yeah, so we're trying to figure that out. The armies are still camped out, so yeah, outside of the city. So we're going to see what goes on and how everything transpires. So not a chapter goal, just want to continue reading it because I got a healthy chunk to read out of part 2. Let me find. I'm on page 182, part 2 ends on page 331. So got all of this chunk right here. Well, not technically all of that. So I have, my page is still to get in. Yeah, so I have this chunk to read and finish by Saturday. When we're supposed to technically go into part 3. So that is the chunk that I'm going to be working on today. So that's a little under 200 pages. So I do want to continue with this. The Lost Puzzler, I think his name is Eyal. I think is how you say his first name, Kless. I've gotten slightly more into it earlier this week. I'm on chapter 16. He did a little bit better of transitioning from when we were back in the present, and then continuing on with Venture's story. So that was a little bit smoother, not much, but a little bit. So you knew you were going back and figuring out with Rafiq. Supposedly these tattoos are the mark of whatever bad deity. So anyone with the markings pretty much were killed in Rafiq's village. So we're not exactly sure still what these tattoos represent, what they mean. So again, I'd like to read a couple of chapters. Most of them have been fairly short. If I get into more of it, then I'll read more than a couple of chapters. But we shall see, because my main focus, like I said, is on the Sanderson book. But continuing on with this journey, and maybe I'll become a little bit more invested in that book. And then there's this book. This is, I believe, out of my Thrill Club. This is The Mansion by Ezekiel Boone. I read this one day earlier this week, and for the first 13 pages, because I'm only 13 pages in, all it's been is this mental rambling about how much he wants to beat up this other character. Hasn't really given a reason why. I think it's kind of hinted that the other character swindled him out of their combined business, but the main character seemed to have a drug and alcohol problem, and he has a lot of resentment and anger towards the other character that he's his old best friend / business partner. So that's the first 13 pages of it, nothing but rambling hatred of this other character. So not really into it as yet. Hopefully something's going to happen that's going to be more than just this mental monologue of how much he hates this other character. Because that's all I've really got out of this book so far. So when I'm not reading those two, I may pick this one up and see if it gets any better. But not looking good so far. So right now I kind of have two kind of mediocre meh type books. We will see if either one of them gets better. And if not, then I may end up DNFing one, if not both of them. But yeah, so that is kind of where I'm at. Again, I hope you guys are having a great Friday morning, and until my next check-in, I hope you have a good one. Bye. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is a project that I am going to be working on. I am replacing all of this. As you can tell, it's not very functional. I've gotten too many books, and they're deep shelving, but they're not holding much. It's not a way that I can actually use them in a very functional way, so I don't enjoy that. So I found these. Let me kind of get you closer and zoom it. These bookshelves, they're supposed to be just slightly under 6 feet, and there are supposed to be 5 shelves, so that should give me plenty, and I got 3 of these to put together. I will be clearing all of this out, moving my desk that I have, and then putting this one and 2 others, and hopefully they're not going to be cracked or anything like that, and it will be easy to put together, and then we'll start the process of reorganizing all of that, because that's the big fat mess right now. So anyways, I will check back in with you guys in a little while. You're not gonna like me, kitty kitty. one shelf done. Woo! Alright, gonna pause it, get rid of this, and then come back and unload the other one. Shelf number 2, done. Whoop, whoop. Well, after a couple of hours of hard work, I got the 3 shelves up. They look awesome. I don't know if I'm going to keep the shelves the way they are spaced currently as I go and organize my books. The top ones may change so that I can display some books and the height difference and all of that. So I think what I'm doing, this is kind of the plan I have in my head, is I'm going to put like my para-romance on the top 3 shelves and then my historical stuff down here. Then my fantasy is going to be in this middle section, and then kind of like the thriller and scary books probably going to go over in here. I'm not going to separate them out into young adult and adult because I primarily have adult books. So I would only have like this much of YA because I don't have a ton of it because I typically read more adult books, but I am getting into YA, and I think with this system I'll have room to grow. I also may be decluttering some books as I go. If I know I'm pretty much probably never going to read it again, it's probably going to go so that I can just have the books that I absolutely love on my shelves. Okay. So that is what I'm about to do. I'll take you along and we will get started in just a few minutes. You guys, this is my completed new bookshelf casings of everything that I own currently. At the top I just have some of my favorite books. This is one of the books that I got from Bookcase Club. This was their kind of romance type of paranormal book. It was pretty good. My all-time favorite Jane Austen book, and then the very first kind of murder mystery thriller book that I read that really got me into is The Mentor, so I like to keep those displayed, and then a couple of pictures of friends and family. And then this is kind of how I have set up some of my favorite paranormal romance authors. I have them pulled to the front. I have some more in the back. They didn't fit on the front. I kind of moved them a little bit back, so it's still double stacked, but it's still functional. I can see them. They're not having to be stacked up on the side like this. So I can still pull out what I want and then I can put it back. Somewhat in alphabetical order, but not really. It's by author, so I know what it is I'm looking for and I can go grab it immediately. I love Nalini Singh, her Guild Hunter series, and then the Side Changeling series going into the Trinity series. I love Laura Leigh and her paranormal, kind of her take on shifter genes and all of that. So there is this and some other books by her as well. I have the J.R. Ward Vampire series. I don't have all of them. I need to go back and get the ones that I don't, because I did stop reading after I got to a certain point and they hadn't made more. So I need to go back into that. Julia Garwood, my Canyon, a few that I have more of them on, I think, Audible than I do physical copies now. Again, my Julia Garwood books, some more kind of historical romance on the bottom. My Joanna Lindsay is on the bottom of this section. Here I have my Twilight and my Harry Potters, then my rest of my fantasy books that I currently own, and then I have another shelf here that I can grow into. So again, the Mistborn and other books by Brandon Sanderson, and then some random ones over here. And then my Throne of Glass series that I love, fell in love with that. And then a new series I'm going to start in July, that's The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So I haven't read it, I know it's an older series, but that is what we have. So I have some growing room for this section. Then over here is my classic books. The Dracula, Count of Monte Cristo, the Grimm Brothers. I didn't enjoy that when I tried to read it with my group. It was nowhere near as good as the book. The movie adaptation did it so much better than the book. Then the, what was that? The Lord of the Rings series, Little Women. And then I have Wuthering Heights, and then Dante's Inferno, I believe, for that. Rounds out my classics that I own currently. Then this is kind of my sci-fi horror genre. I don't have a lot of either, so they're all kind of smoshed together. So the Illuminati Files, love that. The Contagion duology, I really enjoyed that. Pitch Dark, Stone Rider. This is some other ones that I have enjoyed. Possessed, that was my most recent one that I enjoyed. Have Hunger, that's a historical fiction horror mixed together. Kind of thriller books down here is No Exit, and then Lock Every Door. And these books down here on this shelf, I'm not sure about if I want to keep them or not. So this whole section has room to grow as I grow, growing here and figuring out over here. So that is kind of what this overall looks like now. I'm super happy. And then my super duper growing section that I'm trying to get rid of, just shift you over a little bit. That shelf over there is my TBR shelf bookcase that I need to get down, and it's continuing to grow. So that is what it is look like currently. I am really enjoying the final look, much more functional than what I had in here. It came with backing for each of the shelves, but I enjoy seeing the wall behind peek through because it's this beautiful blue color and I love it so much. So it's not just seeing that white flexi plastic cardboardy stuff in the back. So I enjoyed the color coming through. Alright, let me finish setting it up and then I'll give you a final look. So this is what the final look. Got my table back in front of my bookshelves where I film at. Again, my rolling physical TBR bookshelf, books that I need to read. I set up the smaller little folding table versus the one I had to make a little bit more room in here. I still need to get a desk. But that was kind of what I was supposed to be going to Target for, was to get a desk to put over here in front of the window. But instead, I found 3 bookshelves, and that is what I ended up purchasing. I did look at desks and I couldn't find one that would kind of match this type of wood and white legs. So I'm still on a hunt for that. But yeah, so this is kind of my office and book room where I do all of my work. So that is that. So yay, I hope you guys have enjoyed this part of organizing with me. And until my next check-in, guys, I hope you have a great Friday. Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Friday evening. It has been one heck of a day. I did do my workout this morning, as you guys saw, and I took a nap soon thereafter because I was just so out of it, very, tired, dizzy is what I like to call it, because I'm so tired I can barely function. And then what else? Oh, I did manage to do my reading goal. The only book that I read was The Mansion by Ezekiel Boone. I read from page 13 all the way to almost the end of page 25 before I called it quits, and then I had to go to sleep because, again, my brain was just so tired and just could not function, so I slept. And then I got up later this afternoon and decided I was going to go to town because I wanted to get my writing around done today versus over the weekend, so I could just have a chill, relaxed weekend and not having to, I need to go do X, Y, or Z. Okay? So I went to Target with the sole purpose of getting a desk for my room. And I've been wanting to do that, and I've talked about it in other vlogs. And that was my purpose. That was why I was going. And get there, I'm going through like the furniture section, and my eyes caught on normal, everyday, old-fashioned or traditional bookshelves, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for. And they were at an affordable price, where most normal bookshelves, traditional bookshelves, are like $120 plus for one. I got all three of the ones that I showed in my office tour after I put everything together. They were like $60 a piece. They are a little bit shorter than the one that I have had years ago, but it was still the 5-tier shelving. Just a little bit shorter, but not by much. They're very functional, which is what I was so desperately needing. I will find other uses for the previous things that I had my bookshelves on, organizers, bookcase, but those are just too boxy and it wasn't functional. Even though I could stack books behind them, I couldn't easily manipulate them and get the books I want and then put them back. It was a whole big ordeal when I wanted to do that. So I will find use for it either in my house, or if and when we go back to our school and I see what my room size is and what I need for space and organizational stuff. So if it's not going to be used in my house, I definitely will be able to use it at my work. So it won't be a waste of money. I so wished they had those that I have now when I got these two, my old ones, because then it would have just been one. But like I said, it won't go to waste. I can definitely use them here or hopefully at work if I need to. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I hope you guys enjoyed me showing you it. I got so into the organization, I forgot to set my timer, so I need to reset my camera because it only films for about 10 to 11 minutes, not quite 12, so I always set my timer for about 10 minutes, and then it just stops. I've tried all the different things. I have a pretty darn good video card in, and it just stops recording. So I haven't figured out how to fix that. I've YouTubed other things, so I have to do it in about 10-minute segments every time, and I just got so into what I was doing that I didn't do that. So you saw me going and starting and sorting and all of that, and then I showed you the end product and then how it looked once I got my desk and everything set back up. So that is what I'm working with now. I will hopefully next month get my desk. And I'm trying not to be too hard with the matchy things because I do have other wood tones in there from older things that I have, like my chair is a different color. I would love to get a more comfy chair to go there to film in versus the harder chair that I have currently. And then my other TBR bookshelf, it's that honey color wood, so it doesn't match either, but that's what I have. And I'm not going to waste things that I have. I could, if I wanted to, go get a white one, but it serves its purpose for what it is. And then I have a Hope chest in that I use for storage, which is also kind of matches that smaller bookshelf. So I just need to get over it, but I would at least like the legs to be white so it will tie into my other desk. And if the top of the desk matches the other wood that I have in there, then we'll hopefully all tie together. But that's kind of what I'm working with as far as that goes. I'm going to call it a night. I am exhausted. It's almost 7 or after that by now. But yeah, it's been a great day. But my body is still tired. I'm hoping that I will have lost weight because it's been doing the fluctuating up and down. But again, like I said, I've been hitting pretty much my calorie range for what I needed to do. So we're hoping for some positive with the weight as well. But what I'm more interested in is inches lost. I mean, I would love the weight to go down. Don't get me wrong with that. I would love my weight to go down. But I'm also very excited about when I lose inches as well, because usually that goes, for me anyways, before the weight does. So that is kind of where I'm at, where I'm going to leave you guys tonight. And until my check-in tomorrow morning, I will hope you guys have a great night. I'm starting to ramble and stumble because my brain is tired, so I hope you guys have a great Friday night. And until tomorrow, night. Well, good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are doing well. I had an unexpected glitch in the video that I was hoping to upload for this morning. Yay on that. So I had to delete the old video because it was no longer uploading. So I had to restart it. So kind of sad about that. But the video will go up later on today. But it'll already be up by the time you guys watch this. All this vlogging thing still has me behind because it's always a week behind. But anyway, so that's going on. So it's probably going to be later this afternoon, which is sad because I like to try to keep on somewhat of a schedule around the same time. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do that. So it was supposed to upload it, and I'll do it all the time. I'll upload it Friday night when I go to bed, and it'll be ready for me to put the end screen and all of that back and stuff on it and have it ready to go for Saturday morning. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't know what went on, why it decided to do what it did, but this particular vlog, reading vlog, has been trouble since I started editing it. So I'm really not surprised that happened. But anywho, so that is going on with the technical stuff and all of that jazz. So we're going to move on from there, and it's going to get loaded, and it's going to get published today, just a little bit later. All right. So my mind is all over the place. All right, my health journey update. I gained the weight that I lost last weekend, and I went up 0.2 from my original start weight. So yay on that. Woohoo. But I believe all of that is from everything, strength training that I did yesterday between the actual workout and then putting together and lifting and all of that of those bookshelves. So I think my muscles have retained that water so they can repair themselves. I am so incredibly sore. So sore with that. So there is that on the weight part. My inches are still down. That 1.5 inches full body is still on. The most positive thing that I have that has improved is my body fat. Alright, so what I was talking about, so my body fat has gone down at 0.7% body fat down So almost a full entire percent has gone. So that's why I believe the water weight I think that's why that's water weight, because I would not have gone down in body fat if I truly gained weight, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think my muscles, with all of the strength and the lifting and all of that I did yesterday, those heavy objects, made my muscles, different parts, retain the water. So there is that. My BMI didn't change, it's still the same. And then my total inches is 192 as it was last weekend. So that's why I don't think the weight gain is truly weight gain and all of that jazz. So all the lovely parts to health journeys. So no gaining of inches, which is always a plus. The weight I'm not really that worried about because I went down in body fat. So we're all good, all good, all good. All right. So my reading goals, yesterday, the only one that I read out of is The Mansion. I took the dust jacket off and I didn't want to put it back on and off. His writing style is very dry, very kind of boring. Over here, next. Let him have his treat. So yeah, his writing is not that exciting to me, so I'm going to try to continue on. I do know now it was because of the split with the business, and then there is kind of a love triangle or past love triangle between the two ex-best friends and another woman, and there's some tension about that. But it was mainly the being basically kicked out of the program that they both created. One took all the credit for it, and the other was kind of kicked out and shoved to the side. So that's kind of where I'm standing on this one. Hopefully it's going to get a little bit more exciting, but right now it's kind of a meh book. I would like to continue reading The Lost Puzzler, get a few chapters read of it today, nothing specific wise with it, but I would like to continue on with the story, to find out what's going on and how everything is related. But my primary goal, of course, is trying to finish out part 2. I'm supposed to have it done by the end of today, I believe, of The Well of Ascension, and I've got quite a bit to read on it. But since I did all of my running around yesterday, I should be able to concentrate on solely reading today. You know, so that's my ultimate goal. I would like to also maybe film another video or two today. We'll see what goes on, especially with the computer and whatever it's doing and all of that jazz. But anywho, that's kind of where I'm at today, what I'm wanting to see get done book-wise for book goals, reading goals and all of that. So yeah, I'm having a good morning. I'm not surprised, but not disappointed in the health journey aspect. I did, before we go, just remembered, I did try the Daily Harvest. It was an apple and cinnamon oat bowl. That was really good. I enjoyed that quite a bit. So yeah, I will definitely get more of those, at least that particular one, because it was very, very yummy. It didn't have any extra sugars added, but it had apples and cinnamon in it and cauliflower and some other stuff in it. So yeah, I enjoyed that this morning. It was really yummy. So yay. But anyways, now that I update you on that part, I will let you guys go. Have a great Saturday morning, and into my next check-in, have a great day. Well, good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing well and have had a fantastic Saturday. Training with these two cats have been very interesting. I've never had both of them here before or adjusted down below. So this is going to make for an interesting clip to segment in this vlog for sure. But anyways, I did want to let you guys know I made my goal. I finished part 2. It was awesome. So many twists and turns that I was not expecting, which out of a great author, you know, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to keep you guessing and what's going to happen next and keep you wanting to go on and read and all of that. And he does this so masterfully. Some new characters have been added and trying to figure out who's being the little conniving sneak. Is it one of the crew members? Is it on the assembly? And what's going on? What's taking place? and that's what I'm trying to, hopefully it's going to be revealed in part 3. And I've already started on part 3, so I can't wait to continue reading on that. When I go lay down, I'll probably read at least another chapter or 2. So yeah, that is awesome. Oh, so good. I know I say that a lot, but I've just fallen in love with this author, and especially so far this trilogy. I've not felt like the middle child book that some people say that usually the second book's nowhere near as good as the first. I cannot say that. I think this was equally as well, if not better, than the first, because you already have your base ground information, which was kind of info dumped in the first book before you really got into understanding what the story was about. So yes, I am beyond thrilled that I've picked up this trilogy, and I cannot wait to continue it. Yes, I cannot highly recommend it enough. It's just that good. So there is that. Let's see what else. Otherwise, it's been a chill day. I didn't film like I thought I was going to. I spent all of my time and energy into getting my other vlog up and ready for you guys to actually watch this weekend as I'm filming this particular vlog. So we're going to hope that the editing part will go a little bit smoother and it won't be so difficult working with it. So it's just been all around an easier day, I think, with the filming, and hopefully the editing will be even better. So yeah, that is good with that. Yeah, so I'm hoping, tomorrow, gonna go on my walk. I've taken, yesterday and today off just because I haven't felt right. I'm feeling better today. I do have a headache that has come on this evening. I'm not sure what's up with that. If another storm system is coming or the pressure is up. I don't really understand where some of these headaches come from because it's been a gorgeous day outside. So I'm not sure what was up with that, and it's still there, and my pain med hasn't really done anything for it. It's just kind of hung out with me. But yeah, it's been a chill day. I've enjoyed the downtime and the resting, and hopefully I can hit the ground running tomorrow, and then next week have an awesome work week. I love it to see if my body fat will go down even more. That was thrilling and awesome, and I would love to see shedding of some more inches as well. Would love the weight to go down, don't get me wrong, but if my body is reshaping, that's okay too. Any progress is progress, as I like to say. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight, and until tomorrow's check-in tomorrow morning, I hope you guys have a great night. Night! Well, good morning / afternoon. I've got a late start with filming. I did go on my 3-mile walk with my best friend at 7:30 this morning. And then I've gone to Walmart to do some minimal shopping. I need to get like cat litter and decongestant, just some odds and ends types of things. So I've done that this morning. Really not been all super duper active other than, doing my walk and stuff. That has become part of my routine. And I've been enjoying that, getting to visit with her and getting some exercise in. I burned over 600 calories walking with her. So that was good after taking a few days off cardio-wise, even though I did the strength / cardio with the body weight exercises. I didn't do the straight cardio part. So my body just needed a rest. It was super duper tired. I did, again, put together the shelves. That exhausted me even more. And I've been having a headache going on now. This is my second day with it. It's kind of in the background right now, but it's still there, so you don't feel 100% tip top. And I think another storm system, I think it's supposed to either rain Monday or Tuesday, I believe. So all of that's coming through, the biopressure and the atmosphere and stuff is kicking in, and allergens and all of that. So I took a decongestant to help relieve some of that pressure, and maybe it will just kind of go on and go away. All right, so that's kind of life update for me currently. Made my goal, yay! I did finish part 2 yesterday, and I've already started into part 3. And I pretty much have decided after last night in my group chat, I was basically scolded and told not to do spoilers in this section of the group, even though in the next line they said what I'd said wasn't really a spoiler. So I was scolded for doing something that I actually didn't do. And that was very bizarre, the way it was worded, and I felt very uncomfortable. Here I am, 40 years old. I just want to talk about the books. And the way I'm very careful about the way I word things because I don't want to spoil it for others, just some observations. Things I would like to see happen to one or two of the characters because he's not a very nice character. And, you know, concerns about another character and what his role might be, but I didn't go into specifics. This is just kind of my take on, you know, what my reactions to, you know, the second part. And I was basically again scolded or told not to do something, but I didn't do what they said I was being warned about. It was very bizarre, very uncomfortable feeling about that. So, yeah. So I probably will end up finishing the trilogy on my own and maybe reading out to the other Brandon Sanderson's books on my own because I just got a very weirded out feeling and felt like what I had to contribute wasn't valued and made to feel awful for something I didn't do. And they even admitted I didn't do what they were warning me not to do. It's so bizarre. I've never seen anything like it, but this group has already had some very bad issues and someone else recreated the group in the setup and they're still having issues. So I just may just go on and cut myself from it because I don't need that negativity. I don't want to be in a negative atmosphere for doing and being told I'm doing something that I'm not doing and all of that. So my purpose is to love reading. I love the book. We'll continue it on my own. And hopefully I'll have a better experience in a different group if I choose to join another group. Because right now I have a very sour taste in my mouth about the groups, either the ones I've created and people join but don't participate, or I joined a different group to see how things are run and made to feel unwelcome because I'm talking about books non-spoilery way and being warned not to spoil it for others, even though they admit I didn't spoil anything. So that's kind of where I'm at. Just a sour taste with right now group discussions. So, but I'm loving the book, enjoying it, and I can't wait to see what else happens in part 3 for the Well of Ascension. Alright, so that pretty much just want to continue reading. I would love it if I could finish 3 in the next couple of days. Probably not by the end of the day, but maybe Monday or Tuesday if I still have energy to read, because a lot of times when I do a ton of reading, I have a day or two down, you know, to kind of recuperate. But we'll see. I did not pick this book up Friday or yesterday, so The Lost Puzzler. I may try to give it a little bit of time today and a little bit of attention to see what goes on. Again, the chapters in this book are a little bit shorter, so they're not as long as in The Well of Ascension. But yeah, so I want to give it a little bit more love, maybe today or tomorrow or next week, and continue on with it, because it's been a few days since I have actually picked this particular book up. So those are my current goals. I'm kind of leery about picking up The Mansion because it's just been a negative feel to the book. And every time I do read out of it, his writing style tends to put me to sleep. So I don't get a lot read, and then I lose time because the book has knocked me out. On top of being already tired, that's not a great book. So maybe later this week I will pick up The Mansion. But currently I would like to read on the 2 fantasy or fantasy/sci-fi in this case. So that is where I'm at currently. I really don't have much plans for the rest of the day because I did my running around already. Really reading, maybe film, a couple of reviews either today or tomorrow is kind of my goal. But just trying to have a chill weekend to get ready for another kickbutt workouts this upcoming week, and just chilling and enjoying my summer. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday, and until my next check-in, I hope you have a good one. Bye! Well, good evening, everyone. I hope you have had a fantastic Sunday. It's been a kind of a chill day. I did go out, like I said earlier, to Walmart to do, you know, the running around that I needed. I got back, I slept a lot. We did have a storm come through. My headache is pretty much gone, but I'm tired from all of that. So just kind of still that out of off feeling type of thing going on. So I'm going to call it an early night. I'm going to go and probably finish out chapter 36 from the Well of Ascension. I'm almost done with part 3. It's going really well, really easy to read and keep my focus on it. It has drawn me in. I believe there are 30 I think chapter 38 is the last chapter of part 3, and I'm in the middle to almost finish with chapter 36. So I am very close to finishing out part 3 of this book. I think there's either 5 or 6 parts to it, so I'm about at the halfway point. So I'm super, super excited. A lot of things are going on. That I was not expecting to go on. There's been a lot of backstabbing and conniving going on, and seeing the development of the relationships between Eyal and Vin. It's kind of heartbreaking to watch them go through it, but to grow in any relationship, there will be problems, and how they will overcome them, if they get to overcome them, will determine if they're going to have a really super strong relationship or if they're going to eventually grow apart. I hope that doesn't happen because they are so good for each other as a couple, as friends, and it would be sad for them to grow apart due to circumstances. So there is that going on. Their relationship makes more sense in this book because you're actually with them through and not just seeming abruptly like it was in The Final Empire. So I've been enjoying that. Seeing him mature and become more of a well-established person and not this flamboyant boy man, I guess, who had all these idealistic ideas and things of that nature, but actually putting things into practice and taking ownership and being firm in his decisions and standing up for what he actually believes is right, not just philosophizing about them. So that has been awesome to see him grow as a person. Right now, I think Vin is questioning herself, still her role and her place within his life. She's still feeling that she doesn't deserve to be with him, that he should be with more of a noble woman who knows how to be in the world of kings and nobles and that. So she still has some growing to do and being secure in who she is, who she wants to be, and how her place fits with Eyal. So it's been good to watch them grow. There's been a lot of new characters added in that I'm not sure about. We'll see how they kind of interweave within the whole story plot and all of that as well. So it's going to be fun to see. And then we got the Hero of Ages after this. So the story I know will continue on. It is so good, and I can't wait to see how things develop. He's such a stunning writer so far with this trilogy, at least the 1.5 books I've read so far. But I'm getting on with his writing. I wasn't sure when I first started reading if I would enjoy it as much as I actually am enjoying it. That has come as a surprise. So definitely worth the hype that I've heard on BookTube about Mistborn and the people I've talked to on other social media. They have high praise for this series or trilogy. So definitely, I think, deserving of it. So yay. And that's about the only book that I have read out of today and pretty much this weekend. Don't rub up on it, baby girl. So yeah, I would like to spend some time in the other book if I can ever pry myself away from this one. But right now, my mind is fully invested in this book, so I'll probably finish it out, and then maybe I can focus my attention on the other books. But yeah, that's kind of where my Sunday has brought me to. But like I said, I think I'm going to call it an early night. Hopefully get good and rested up. Again, my workouts start again tomorrow. So yeah, I'm excited about that as well. So until my next vlog or my next video, I hope you guys have a fantastic night and a great week. Bye.